Hello, this is Sean Hill, your job search specialist. And September is a great time to look for a job, especially if you're over 50. We normally think about the first of the year as being the best time, but usually that's when it's really crowded. September is actually the surge month where we really want to get out there and make things happen because guess what? The budgets have been approved. People need to get people in place so that by January 1st, they're ready to hit the ground running and start making a profit. But not all job search methods are created equal. We're going to talk about 7 ways to find a job, and they're ranked from the least effective to the most effective. So, with that being said, number seven, should I say? Number seven is job fairs and career events. It would seem when you go to a job fair that you have all these employers lined up. Seems like that would just be the perfect place to find as many jobs as you want. But if you've ever gone to one or several, and I've been to plenty of them, you know that that is probably the worst place or the last place you're actually going to find a job. Normally, you're going to be told to leave your resume if they tell you that. Other than most of the time, they're just going to tell you to go online and apply online. Here's the key: is if you can get the contact information of the people at the job fair, at least now you know somebody in the company. If you can, we'll talk about LinkedIn in a little bit later. Ask them if they're on LinkedIn. Send them a connection request right from the job fair. The gold at the job fair, not gold, GOAL, but gold, GOLD, is in the networking and the personal connections you can make, not in getting a job. It just usually doesn't happen at the career fair. Here's another thing that you can do: network with other people that are looking for jobs. Hey, get their information. That way, if they hear of something, they can get it to you. If you hear of something, you can get it to them. So job fairs and career events, they have their place, but man, it's way down the line. Next is going to be recruiters and staffing agencies. So they do have value because a lot of times they are aware of jobs that are not advertised. They may be aware of the hidden job market. The company or companies may come to them first and say, hey, we have this position or positions we need to fill. We need you to go out and get us some of these people. Whether that's internal or through a third party, they have access to that where normally you wouldn't. Caveat though is remember, the recruiters are not working for you. They're working for the employer. They're working for the one that signs that check, who pays their bills. And so they are not your friend. They are there to, handle a job, and they are there to make sure, to the degree that they can, they get the best candidate for that company or their internal company. So just be aware of they're not your friend. That doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that their first goal and their first responsibility is to the company. You have to take care of yours. They have to take care of theirs. And remember, you're not the only candidate that they're working with. They're probably working with tens, if not hundreds of other people, depending on the size of the job. So just be aware that you're not their first priority. Number 5, targeted online applications. So this is number 5. We're not talking about the spray and pray method, which is mass applying, sending the same resume to dozens of jobs. That's going to be low return, low visibility. When we do this, we want to have customized resumes for every role that closely match your background, and that's going to perform much better. Not only is your resume should be customized, but you want your cover letter to be customized as well. And yes, you should send one unless you're told not to. But I would always err on the side of more in this case instead of less. Your resume tells about you. Your cover letter can tell about the story and how you apply. So you can add a little more color, a little more more of your personality into that cover letter. LinkedIn optimization and active engagement. Okay, so this is number 4. You want to be on LinkedIn. You just need to be there. Uh, and that's so that for the higher level jobs. Now, if you're not trying to be uh, slight anybody, but if you're talking about professional job, it's a professional platform. And if you're talking about jobs that recruiters are going to be looking out for, then hey, you need to be there. But make sure that when you are there and the recruiter does show up, let's make sure that your LinkedIn profile is optimized. You also want to have active engagement on there. Hey, make sure that you're checking out the companies that you want, you're networking. The power of LinkedIn is in networking, meeting those people. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's the power. So you want to optimize profile so that when somebody does come, you look good, you look sharp. And here's one thing that's a bonus tip, a pro tip: post something. You have to post every day, all day. This isn't Facebook, but just post something, something of value, something that shows your thoughts. Because in the post, that's where you show more of your personality as well. Only 1% of the whole platform even post. And if you post something of value, you will be so far ahead of most other people that even post. Most times it's, congratulatory posts. Hey, this happened. I got married. I got a promotion. I left a job or whatever. If you post something of value, you're going to be so far ahead of all the other people that are on the platform. Number three, direct outreach to hiring managers, not the recruiters, but the hiring managers, the people that actually have the ability to say yes or no. Reaching out directly can separate you from hundreds of applicants. So now you're going from that top of phone, now you're 1 in 100 or 1 in thousands, handful, that 1 in 5, much better odds. This works especially when your message is short, specific, and explains how you can solve a problem for the company. That is so huge. That is so huge. I've seen so many, as a hiring manager myself, I've seen so many messages, one that looked like this big block of text, that when I see the message, my eyes glaze over. I'm never going to read that. Then, now if it's not that, or also with that, it's all about them. I did this. I have this degrees. I have this position, blah, blah, blah. Wonderful. But how can you solve the company's problem? Have you done enough research to understand what the problems are in this department, in this company, and how you can solve those? Those are the people that really move ahead, that set themselves apart from all other people. Number two, employee referrals. Why do they rank so high? Because companies often give referred candidates priority. If someone inside the company submits your name, it signals you may be safer and more reliable hire. Because guess what? Most of the time, people who are working at a company aren't going to refer somebody that's not a good person, that's not a good fit, because it reflects negatively on them. It's like, wait a minute, didn't you know that this person never shows up on time? So referral can move your resume to the top of the pile and help you bypass the crowded online application process. You may still have to go through the application process, but I am living proof that this works. And number one, to nobody's shock or surprise, is networking. Networking through personal and professional contacts. People hire people that they trust, or people recommended by someone that they trust. Many jobs are filled before they're even posted publicly. I've seen this myself. A good network helps you hear about opportunities earlier and gives employers more confidence in you. So make sure that you're networking, that you're building your network while you're off, while you're in this season of job search, or even if you're employed. Make sure that this is something that you constantly do, not a one-time activity. So number one, all the time. No, 80% of jobs are filled through referrals, personal contacts. That's why this one is number one. So what's the game plan? The actual plan. It's a 4-step plan. First step, number one, build your target list. Identify 20 to 30 companies that match your skills, values, and goals. Research each one deeply. Quality focus beats scattered applications every time. This is so important because it's so easy to just look for companies that are hiring. and just, hey, as long as they're hiring, I'm going to go for it. But now you're in that 1,000, 10,000 group of people. But when you are proactive, instead of being reactive, when you're proactive and you go out and you identify the 20 to 30 companies that match your skills, values, and goals, now you're not only going to have a better opportunity at getting a job, but once you do get a job, you're going to have a better opportunity at getting one that you'll actually like. And that's really key. So step 2, get inside the door, find people at each company on LinkedIn or through your network. Ask for brief, informational conversations, not jobs. Build genuine relationships first. This is so important. So now you're not so transactional. You want to build genuine relationships because guess what? Having a professional network is an asset. It's an incredible asset. So make sure that you're building those genuine relationships, but also at the same, and I should also say at the same time, let them know that, hey, you are looking to build your professional network in hopes that you can get a job. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think being transparent is great in building a professional network. Not just to get a job, but even once you have a job, keep building. Apply with a referral. When a role opens up, apply with an internal referral whenever possible. A referral candidate is up to 4 times more likely to get interviewed than a cold applicant. And number 4, track and follow up. Log every contact, application, and conversation in a simple spreadsheet. Don't let this get complicated. Don't let this be difficult. Follow up professionally after each touch point. Consistency wins the long game. Compounding effect, each step multiplies on the last. A warm referral from a genuine connection at a targeted company is dramatically more powerful than any single tactic alone. All right, that's our strategy. So how on a daily basis should that break down? How should we spend our time? Here's going to be the breakdown. Networking and referrals, 40% of your time should be spent here. Your highest leverage activity, a referred candidate is 4 times more likely to get hired. No existing contacts. Start by attending industry events, joining professional Slack communities, or reaching out to alumni. Referrals can be built from scratch. So just because you don't have some right now doesn't mean you can't develop them. And now 25% of your time, direct outreach, send targeted, personalized messages to hiring managers, team leads, even before a role is posted. This surfaces hidden opportunities and positions you as proactive. Works independently of referrals and often leads to informational interviews. And those are so important. Targeted applications, not spray and pray. Apply only after making a connection inside the company or after thorough research. Quality beats quantity. 10 tailored applications outperform 100 generic ones every time. Pair every application with the follow-up message to the hiring manager. 10% of the time, LinkedIn activity. Build your visibility by commenting on industry posts, publishing insights, optimizing your profile. Recruiters actively search LinkedIn, and a strong presence generates inbound interest without cold outreach. 5% of the times, and most of us have this reverse. This is where we spend 95% of the time, and we squeeze all these other activities into the other 5. So useful supplement, especially for specialized roles, brief, clear communication. Recruiters keeps you top of mind, relevant openings without consuming significant time. So this is it. This is the game plan. Now you got step by step how to do it. You got even the allocation of time on the job search. The number one reason I think people are failing right now is because they're trying to do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. Right now, in these times, it literally does take a village to get a job, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be part of your village. If you have questions and I can help you, please reach out to me. I am creating a community of people who are looking to get employed, who are looking to work together. And if you want more information about that community, click the link in the description of this video. That being said, this is Sean Hill, your job search specialist, and I'll see you